What is going on, guys? Pumpsun87 here, and today I'm bringing you the AOR. This is race 2 of the Oceania League around the Spa Grand Prix. One of my most favourite tracks in F1 Canada, one of the best tracks in F1 Canada, one of the best tracks in this game. I really enjoy driving here. To be honest, I was a bit apprehensive though going to this race, so I'll talk more about that in a minute, but we're on board with Benjamin Daly, Tim Murdoch, who's completing his final lap, which put him P3 on the grid. My qualifying wasn't that great, P11 actually, as Berserk is going to set lap time, which beats me and puts him up the table. Yeah, put me at P11 on the grid. I did qualify on the super soft tyres. I wanted a different strategy, as I made a few mistakes during qualifying. I didn't feel that confident, and I was more focusing towards the race. So anyway, back to why I was apprehensive, because I did quite a few practice races, and I made a lot of mistakes in them. I was very tired going to this race. I just worked a morning shift. I'm working a very little sleep. And the other reasons, because I've had a lot of bad luck on this game recently for some reason. So for this race, my goal was just to get points. Get points, keep it consistent, don't make any mistakes, and see what comes up. I just wanted a race where I can actually race the guys in the front and show off my actual pace in this game, because I feel like I've had not many chances at all. So this race, I was determined to keep it clean, keep it consistent, and battle the guys up front and see what I can do. So the 5 lights are now on the screen. We're on the soft tyres, on the alternate strategy. We want to get a cautious start, no point being overly aggressive. We want to keep it nice and clean going into turn 1. There's a cluster of cars ahead, a few guys dive bombing into turn 1. There's a little bit of front wing going off, and there's a few guys going wide, and that's already a few positions. And sometimes it is best to keep it clean and cautious, as you never know what positions you'll get from the start. As Neo Tree Dome has now fallen behind me after being pushed wide through turn 1, and 2 more guys ahead have had front wing damage. We're going to look at that a little bit later on, but now on board of Harry Ryan is going side by side with Warden, who's also started on the soft tyres. He qualified in P12. I think he crashed during qualifying, so he's also doing the same strategy as me, and he's trying to make his first overtake of the race on Harry Ryan, which he does quite successfully actually. A good move around the outside of the McLaren driver, and now switching back to my screen, I'm just behind Harry Ryan, trying to keep it nice and cautious. The guys ahead are going really quite slowly, and that put me under threat from Neon Tree Dome. He went round my outside into No Name. I gave him all the room in the world, and he couldn't get the position stuck. Because they don't really want to overtake him. We're trying to keep it nice and cautious, but we don't want to be a liability for anyone else on the track as well, and we don't want to be overtaken as well. As we want to make gains up this field, hopefully, during this race. So still on board Harry Ryan, as Broza ahead, his teammate, is going really quite slow. He's one of the people who got throwing damage at the start, as Harry Ryan has a double lockup going into Stavolo, and that's going to put him on the back foot. Going on the back straight now, as I'm right behind him, probably using Rich Mix. His is Rich Mix as well, though, to be fair. So we're going to compare our straight line speeds now, going on the back straight towards the bus stop chicane. So we're going through Blanchimont, nice and flat in these cars. I'm looking to the outside line, but he switches to the outside as well. Unfortunately, I can't get the position ahead of him, although he does brake massively late, and 2 cars going into the pit lane there. Proza and Chimchar, my teammate. Looks like he was the one who had the collision with the McLaren driver at the start of the race, but now we're looking down the inside of Harry Ryan, a very late dive bombing move, but we had to be aggressive, we had to make the move on him at some point soon. We were leaving room on the outside, and that was a pretty fair move really. Bit of a dive bomb, missed the apex a little bit, but both cars stayed on the road, and that's actually given Harry Ryan the advantage going up our route. We missed the apex slightly, going up the hill, and that's compromised my exit, as they got a little bit tail happy on the curb as well. And let's compare our straight line speeds. Looks like it's running a bit more downforce than me, and he can't really get a good enough run, especially without DRS. So we give him the inside line, hold it round his outside, and he can't get a position ahead of us. And now he's left him under threat from Neon Tree Dome during the rest of this lap. As hopefully we can pull away from the McLaren driver and challenge the guys ahead. As the all-soft tyres, I did a few practice races and a few races in the leagues, and I really hated the feel of the all-soft tyres in the first couple of laps of this race. They went off so quickly and they're really poor race tyre. But anyway, looking back at some replays of the start of the race, we're on Chimchar, who had an excellent qualifying at P4, who's got a double look up going into turn 1 and just dive bombs the McLaren. Unfortunately, Chimchar, yeah, you were probably mostly to blame for that one, unfortunately. It's unfortunately had a double lock up, and maybe Prosser should have actually seen that, but I suppose he was in your blind spot, and that's cost you both damage. I believe Neon Tridem also got damage at that start as well, and it's just losing positions to Acho and Master Berserk as well. Both of you've got full front wing still, and who had clean starts this race. Now we're on board with Neon Tridome, who qualified in P6, so respectable qualifying from him as well. Sorry, Chimchar actually qualified P5, not P4. Actually, no, it was P4. One thing I forgot to mention is VSR Fens, who was on pole position, actually disconnected before the start of this race. So it's very unfortunate for him, so it's actually everyone's up one position, if you get what I mean. But here we go, you can see the incident from, actually, it does look like the Haas driver spears into the side of the McLaren, and that's equaled in a really bad run for the Mercedes. And now we're on back of Aaron L3F4, and we make a slight mistake going into Source Lecom. Get the Spark corner names right. I believe he actually had an incident with a fellow driver at some point earlier, I think a lap or two ago, and that's put him back in the clutches of me on the all-soft tyres. Aaron is really struggling. I think he's trying to hold out as long as possible on these dead tyres. Not quite sure why for, maybe he's hoping to take the supers off to the end, but he got a very poor run through P1, and then he's given the room for me, so full respect to him as he go clean on his outside into the S there, and that's up into P4 in this race. We've got Warden ahead, who's about 4 or 5 seconds ahead, so he's made the use of his aggressive start on the soft tyres, and we're going to have good track position. We're now into P2 as Team Marduk and Ryan have both made the pit stops, and that's unfortunately my penalty for the race. I only had one penalty, and actually after this I got no warnings at all, so I was pretty pleased with myself, but unfortunately by lap 7 I had one penalty, which is really frustrating, but hopefully it won't happen to me too much at the end of this race. But now we've got Ben Daly, it's now lap 10, it's called right to back him on his fresh soft tyres, and we're not going to make it too easy for him, but we're not going to defend massively. And he actually got a really good run through No Name. Don't know how he did that, but he's going down the inside into P1, and that's a respectable move by him. I was hoping to hold around his outside, but I always knew he was going to close me off there. So a very good move from Tim Amardik there. And he gets round down the inside into P1. A very brave move as well. It's not easy to overtake down there, especially when you're in a league race and you're both very competitive. As he misses the apex slightly for Stavilo, and we might have a think about having a look back at the Williams driver, although we do ease off the gas, so they miss the apex themselves through the second part of Stavilo. Now we've got New Zealand Ryan, both of these guys fighting for the race lead. They're actually quite a few seconds ahead of P2, or sorry, P3. Well, the effective P3 once I pit and Warden pits, if you know what I mean. I'm just jumbling on my words here, but they've got DRS on Tim Radek still, which you want to keep with him. He's not really in our race, he's not really in our fight. We're not gonna make it easy for him by all means. Same with Ryan behind, as they make a big mistake into turn 1. We lock up our wheel and we get on the curbing, get quite a bit of wheel spin, and Ryan gets past us quite nicely. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but Ryan actually clipped the back of me there with my mistake going onto the curbing that part of the track. I didn't realise it. In fact, I only began to suspect like a few laps into it when I actually get the same pace as him. As you can see, challenging him down the back straight, and he went very slow through Lecom, but I didn't think too much of it at that time. But, I mean, I don't know what I could have done differently then. Sure, I made a mistake, but mistakes happen occasionally. You don't mean to do them. And I kept out of his way, I feel. I gave him all the track in the world on the right-hand side. I stayed on the curbing. Otherwise, I might have got wheel spin and might speed across the track and taken him out. I didn't want to do that. I actually slowed up, and that really cost me time. And through the next few laps afterwards, I kind of stayed with Ryan within DRS range, and that actually kept me safe from Acho behind, who closed in on me on the super soft tyres, and he's on the 2-stop actually. because I believe he made a mistake during qualifying and did 2 runs on the same tyre, and then he pitted really early off the ultras onto the supers. And now we're on for our first and final stop of the day. One stop. By the way, I should have mentioned, we actually have rain forecasted in this race. I was hoping to stretch the soft out until the rain period, but I think it's only going to impact on the final couple of laps. We might not even get onto the intermediate tyres. So we made our pit stop. I actually went to the pause menu to try and not get damage going on the pit lane exits. I did do that in practice, which is really embarrassing if I do it in the league race. But Acho is all over the back of me. He's very quick from the bat on the super soft tyres. I was taking it quite cautious as there was definitely a change in grip levels, and I just wanted to take it easy. I didn't want to push too hard. I didn't want to make any mistakes. I didn't want to bottle it. So the personal best of the race myself, and Acho probably does behind as well, as he's running actually much less downforce than me during this race. I'm running 2 free wings, and I'm pretty sure I heard after the race he was running 1 long wings. So it's going to make it very, very difficult to keep him behind for the remainder of this race. It's going to be a very tight battle. We're both on the same tyres, both on the same life levels, but he's got much less downforce, so we've got to keep heading. Look how far back he is down the straight, and look how far he's actually going down the inside into their comms. He pushed me wide. I don't know why he was going for the inside line there. There's no way you can make an overtake at that shallow angle. And he actually, I think he tapped my side pod and lost a little bit of time there. So Acho there, I think doing a dominator from Hungary, trying to go for a gap that didn't really exist, as I felt like I defended the inside quite fairly. And now all the way to lap 20, the rain is falling finally in this race, as we are struggling once again. For quite a few laps, we kept about a 1 second margin to Acho behind, and we were doing pretty good. We were keeping the gap, as I knew I was quicker during the second sector, but unfortunately, just on this lap, we were struggling a little bit with the rain. And Acho, that's given him a great advantage, great opportunity to get past me in the final 3 laps of this race. And as you can see, we're catching someone ahead. Aaron L3F4, he tried to stretch like for most of this race on the super soft tyres, and his tyres are gone. He is falling backwards towards me and Acho very quickly at this rate. And as you can see, Acho all over the back of us, so defend to the inside, there's no way he's going to get through there. This time he picks fairly the outside line, and look how much speed he has to me. We're going side by side through, come a little bit of contact, but we both get away with it, and there's nothing I can do there. Acho making a very fair move around the outside of Lecom. Wasn't much I could do there, and for respect to him, he got in position. And now at the end of this lap, rain is really falling, we're getting a little bit on the curve, a little bit of wheel spin, and now we've got the Red Bull and the Force India going side by side, up the back straight towards Blanchimont. Who will blink first? Will it be any contact? There's a little bit of contact, will it be forced out wide? The Force India of Aaron goes slightly wide on the exit, it goes on the grass, and this could be an opportunity as well. We're going round the outside into the bus stop chicane. Acho goes quite wide, and Aaron leaves the room, and we get the position back up to P6 during this race. Very close stuff with the Force India there. Aaron, unfortunately, really struggling on those old tyres. But things aren't over yet. Acho there really misses the apex of the first corner, whereas we got it quite nicely, locking up though a little bit, as the conditions are really getting quite bad on this final lap. Let's see how we go up a Rouge. Will we go up there quite nicely? A little bit of tail happy, and we run a little bit wide, as didn't want to risk anything, didn't want to risk a spin out, and actually got away from me there. Rouge. I didn't really want to risk anything. I could have taken a tighter line. I could have taken it a little bit better, but once again, as I said, but Acho actually makes a mistake and goes wide at Lake Arm, so that might be a time penalty for him later on at the end of this lap, as again to keep on board for the rest of the remainder of this race. As we have a double lockup on the front tyres, we shift down to 3rd gear. There's a little mistake from us. Unfortunately, Acho has really got about nearly 2 second gap to us now. So really no chance of catching him during the rest of this race. But he might have time penalties at the end. We have 1 penalty, let's not forget that. But he might have more, so P5 is still on the cards. Den Daly looks like he's going to cross the line now and win the race, so good job from him. He had excellent pace. New Zealand Ryan actually kept P3 at the end, even with that front wing damage, which is a bit unfortunate for him. An unfortunate incident, costing him the chance of a victory. As Acho there, another mistake, it goes wide and cuts the bus stop chicane. And in the live stream, he got a 5-second stop-go penalty, a time which will be added on at the end of the race. So surely that's P5. No, it says P6 still, for some reason, which is a bit weird, as I finished within 5 seconds of the Red Bull driver. So I'm not sure what's going on there. as now we're on board with Neon Tree Dome, who's going across the line to finish the race in the wet conditions on the soft tyres. Look at the wheel spin, that's how bad it is. And I believe we've got Harry Ryan. No, sorry, I think it's Proza. Oh, no, sorry, it's my teammate Chimchar, who finishes just behind him. So they get P8 and P9. Proza comes across the line for P10. And Harry Ryan, unfortunately, struggling a little bit, finishes P11. So the race order is Timo Marduk finishing first. Well done to him, great victory. And Warden99, after doing that alternate strategy like me, going in soft to super soft tyres, getting P2. He had great pace at the end and almost caught up to Ben. New Zealand Ryan finishing third with that front wing damage, Massimo Zerk fourth, and it should be me fifth. In fact, I actually got fifth place back off Acho as the time penalty didn't count in the end of the race results. I'm not quite sure why. It's maybe a little bit of a glitch in the game, but as I'm watching all of the AI cars skating around on the wet tyres, I believe was waiting for Harry Ryan to finish there at the end. So we got P6 according to the game, but it is actually P5, so it's a solid 10 points. I'm really pleased with that race. I'm not so much. I'm pleased with the points. Sure, I'm pleased with the battles and stuff. But more importantly, I'm just pleased that I actually had a clean race without any major mistakes, without any front wing damage, without any lag incidents. For the first time in ages in this game, I'm just pleased by that, and I'm pleased I can actually show my pace with the front guys. Because I believe I kept it pretty consistent. I was battling at the front, which I want to do. So I'm just happy about that. And congrats once again to the guys I mentioned, Timo Marduk and the Renault drivers. But yeah, I'm really pleased with my results. Hope you guys enjoyed that race, because it was a pretty good one. Much better than the last one at Hungary. And yeah, hopefully I can have a good race as well. And the next one, which is the Monza Grand Prix. So hopefully that should be a good race as well. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys for my next video, whatever that may be. So I'll see you guys then. Palms out.